The film begins with an elderly woman praying in front of the grave of a wealthy man who is more attached to his grave than his family. She was so focused on a lavish tomb that she said she wanted to be buried in a similar splendid cemetery after her death. The story revolves around a family visiting the grave of an ancestor, with the main character being a young man who only knows how to play video games but does not know how to help his family. When asked to help him speak casually, "At least I was present. It's not like my uncle's family didn't come." The grandmother scolded him for not being respectful and made him help sprinkle petals on the graves. The rain did not care to break the petals in a negligent way, which made the grandmother frustrated. Soon after, the grandmother lost her balance and fell and had to be taken to the hospital. Interestingly, my mother stayed in the hospital to take care of her while she was open at home, continuing to play games pretending that she was too busy with work. When his mother opened the house, she confronted him about his gaming habits, reminding him of his previous promises, such as becoming a successful gamer, to buy his own apartment and help with household bills. Rain ignored his mother's worries, saying that she was making him feel worse, and quickly got back to his work. The situation became more serious when his mother opened up to share that his grandmother had cancer and might not live much longer. 1-5. After being pressed, he visited her but remained selfish. During the visit, the grandmother was surprised by the sudden visit and asked if there was any reason. Rain tried to show concern and said it was because her family thought of her. He brought her noodles as a gesture of love, but she pointed out that she didn't eat them. Instead, she asked to buy her favorite fried fish from a specific store in the market. When he opened the market to buy fish, he saw a long line, and because of his impatience, he decided to buy from another store. But when he brought the fish back to her, she immediately realized it wasn't from the store she had requested. She refused to eat because it was too oily, forcing her to go back to the original store and wait. When he finally brought the right fish back, she had finished eating it and didn't need it anymore. After making a mistake with the fish, she gave him a new task: boil water for offering, but must use a pressure cooker. Rain does not pay attention and use a microwave instead. When she realized there was no whistle from the pressure cooker, she confessed, and this made her even more angry. She scolded him, saying that if you don't do it right, don't do it. She chased him out of the house, even though he said he would do it right next time, but she didn't hear that he never did it the right way. Despite the strong rejection, Moo felt relieved, as if the burden had been lifted from his shoulders, and then went to see his friend Mudge, who was wearing a nurse's suit. Rain was confused and asked the roof, "Are you working as a nurse?" But Mooey explained that it was just to attract online viewers. The conversation between them is more strange and shows a strange side to Mooey's work. While talking, she dreamily recalled how she took care of her grandfather before he died and later inherited his estate. Rain mentioned that the elderly sometimes smell unpleasant and agree, but said that after a while, they don't notice it anymore. She suggested that if he could endure such minor discomforts, could he build a stronger relationship with his grandmother? Touched by Mooey's advice, Dream decides to stay with her grandmother for a few days to help her. He went to the mall, where his mother worked, and told her about his plans. His mother was surprised and gave him the spare key of his grandmother's house. When she appeared at her grandmother's house with the key to open the door, she was surprised to see him return. She became suspicious of why he suddenly wanted to visit. Feeling her skepticism, she dreamed of telling the truth that she had cancer and that his mother and Uncle Blue didn't want to know. He tried to make it less serious, saying that the doctor wasn't always right. Take, for example, Aunt Emma, who lived longer than the doctor predicted. The rain reminded his grandmother that she had taken care of him as a child, and that now he felt it was his turn to take care of her. His honest words eased her skepticism, and she agreed to let him stay. But the next morning, M's alarm went off at 5 a.m., but he fell asleep. When he finally woke up, he hurried to the train station where his grandmother sold porridge. He asked why she hadn't woken him up, and she sarcastically said, "Why do you have to do that? You're not a watch." After a long day working at the train station, my grandmother visited a friend and told her that she had been diagnosed with cancer. Interestingly, her friend also had cancer, and instead of showing empathy, she joked, "At least she has her nephew to help me. I have to do everything myself." After that, the grandmother and Fade went to the bank. She said she waited outside because she didn't want him to see her account information. The next morning, I woke up to find that my mother had arrived and my grandmother was well dressed. Rain was confused and asked where her grandmother was going so early. During the conversation, Chu-sun asked Grandma how she was doing these days. She frankly said that she knew she had cancer and didn't need to hide it anymore, because Dream had told her everything. The whole family was shocked and angry for telling the truth, but he defended himself, saying that his grandmother deserved to know what was happening to his body. The atmosphere calmed down when her 3 children promised to take good care of her. MS' mother especially worked the night shift at the shopping center so that she could spend time during the day taking her cancer treatment. Rain asked, "Did you wait for anything in response to everything you did?" But she just laughed and said, "What are you saying? Her mother is sick and she needs to take care of her." One day, her mother took her grandmother to the pool to help her exercise, but her grandmother felt guilty for making her daughter neglect work. Mo quickly walked in and said that it was no problem. His mother switched to working the night shift so she could help her during the day. The grandmother realized that her daughter had sacrificed a lot and became sad. The grandmother told her daughter that she was making her life harder, just like when she dropped out of school to help her family. Seeing that this situation affects both her mother and grandmother, tell her mother that this is worsening her health. "You should rest. I will take you to cancer treatment." His mother, tired after long nights of working and taking care of her grandmother all day, finally agreed. The next day, he took his grandmother to the hospital for treatment, and his friend was the driver who took them there. After the new treatment, she was helped to go up the stairs to her bedroom because her room was on the first floor and she had difficulty moving. While helping his grandmother recall that when he was a child, he often slept between her and him because he was afraid of ghosts. Lorraine ignored him and said that he was not afraid anymore. That night, in a dream, he saw his parents coming to take him away. It made him feel uneasy. He woke up and saw his grandmother praying. Grandma with him. She won't be here for long. Lorraine gently reassured. She said that nothing happened to her soon. She still had a lot of time. To make her feel better, Lorraine put up mosquito nets for her to make a small act that showed his growing concern and responsibility for his grandmother. The next morning, my grandmother had a slight fever, but when she insisted on cooking a convincing dream, she rested. He gently wiped her body with a warm towel. Then he opened his hood and jokingly asked, "How do you think you rank on your grandmother's favorite list?" She jokingly said that he must be the head of the scent or scent uncle. Lorraine thought that she could stand taller than her mother in her eyes. He added that she often told other relatives that he took good care of her. After hearing the smell of dreams, she took her to visit her eldest son. Uncle sent someone who was quite rich. Uncle Green tried to persuade her to stay with him. "Mom, what's left for you to stay in that old house here, and we'll take good care of you." Rain felt uncomfortable because he was afraid that if she moved in with Scent, he might lose the chance to inherit anything. He interrupted and said, "But I need to take her to chemotherapy regularly, and it's too far here." Uncle Scent understood M's worries, but it suggests that FA seems to be more interested in money than taking care of her. Rain angrily affirmed, "I'm not doing this for money. I really want to help you." Stone Lotus. Taking care of mothers is the responsibility of children, not grandchildren. He just wanted his mother to be happy. Then the uncle sent her to the temple, as they used to do. But while climbing the stairs, her legs were swollen. So Uncle Sin helped her take off her slippers and carry her inside. At the pagoda, my grandmother wrote a prayer on a piece of paper, praying God bless her son and daughter to always be healthy and happy. She also prayed for him. Find a good job. She placed her prayer next to the prayers of the Lotus family. As she looked through their wishes, she realized that no one was praying for her. This made her sad, but she comforted herself. "Is it okay? They're my family." Ray noticed that she was sad and said, "It doesn't seem like they see her as part of the family." She was silent and decided that she didn't want to live with the car anymore. As she underwent more rounds of chemotherapy, her hair fell out and she went bald. Even so, Moo was still by her side, encouraging her like a true friend. One day, when she checked her inbox, she found that all her savings had disappeared. She panicked and insisted that she didn't take it. Fortunately, Mo had installed an old phone as a security camera in her room. When they checked the footage, they discovered that Joan's eldest son had stolen the money. Angry, Mo confronts Giant and tells him to stay away from her from now on. Soon after, a man came to her house and said that the house was for sale online. The bewildered grandmother told him that there must have been a mistake because she had never sold music. She felt sad, but did not show it. Instead, she gave her a white shirt and said softly, after she finished chemotherapy, she should go look for a job. Don't waste time with her anymore. Rain felt depressed and replied, "We'll hire you now." His grandmother encouraged him to remind him of his past successes. "Do you remember? In the past, I was always at the top of my studies. If you really want to be successful, you can do anything." Inspired by her words, she faintly agreed to start looking for a job. The next day, the grandmother decided to talk to her brother about wanting to buy a large plot of land to bury herself. She asked for $1,000,000 yen, but he flatly refused and said never to come back. This refusal made both her and Mo feel disappointed. I asked her, why did she want such an expensive piece of land? She explained that a large plot of land would help preserve her heritage and benefit her family. Rain tried to convince. She noted that her wealthy brothers were buried in small plots and still succeeded. To calm the atmosphere, 3 jokes that, if you don't bring flowers to her grave, she will come back to scare you. When she continued her chemotherapy sessions, the results showed no improvement, but she insisted that she felt better. However, MS mother is struggling emotionally and feels overwhelmed when she has to take care of her. Eventually, her grandmother's health deteriorated and she began to lose the will to live, praying for serenity. When she was hospitalized, she decided to give her home to the son she had estranged from to record. This makes Blur feel betrayed. Even after all he had taken care of her, he confronted her. Why did she choose him instead? With tears in her eyes, she explained that she had nothing else to give. Rain angrily left, but then he realized that he really loved her and hurried back to reconcile. When the Lunar New Year approached, MS family came to visit, but her grandmother could no longer speak. Despite trying 3 times, he finally left with the pain of breaking up. At her funeral, a call came in on her phone about a pending deposit. Rain finds out that she has been saving money for him since he was a child. Promised that he will have a fortune when he grows up. Recalling her promise to help him buy a dim new house, feeling motivated, he called the bank to withdraw all the money and use it to buy a large burial ground for her. He also bought a beautiful new house in her memory. In a loving final act, he places flowers on her grave, fulfilling her last wish in his own way. The story ends with the emotional journey of M. From knowing only yourself to understanding the importance of love, family, and responsibility.